Good afternoon. Please be seated. With us this afternoon are very proud parents, grandparents, and other family and friends. Seated with our graduates are dedicated educators, including teachers, guidance counselors, Polaris Principal Mr. Jerry Lanning, and Assistant Principals Mrs. Nicole Hackman, Mrs. Susan Harb, and Mr. Stephen Breckner. These educators are extremely proud of these students. In addition, I am pleased to introduce the dignitaries on the stage. Senior Class Advisor, Mr. Sean Collins. Senior Class Principal, Mr. Brian Tamino. Superintendent, Mr. Cameron Ryba. Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Jennifer Pelko. Board of Education members, President, Mr. Carl Naso. Vice President, Mr. Richard Micko. Colonel Duke Evans. Mr. George Grozen, and Mrs. Jane Ludwig. Let's give them a round of applause. At this time, would selected senior members of the choral department please make your way to the stage? These selected members are going to perform the national anthem and alma mater. At this time, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Strongsville Police Department. Male graduates, please remove your hats.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
Don't wait it done. Wait till they're gone. Still here. At this time, please remain standing for the alma mater. Senior members, thank you for the great performances. You may be seated. I want to make sure we acknowledge and say thank you to the Strongsville Police Department for providing the color guard this afternoon. Mr. Scott Benson and his tech crew for recording today's ceremonies, and our senior singers. Let's give one more round of applause to them. It is with great excitement and joy we are here today. This group of young men and women before you have done amazing things over the last 4 years. And you as students and family and friends and parents have much to be proud of. Our motto at SHS is excellent in academics, the arts, and athletics. And the class of 16 has excelled in all 3 of those areas. At this time, I would like to acknowledge their accomplishments in those 3 areas. And students, when I announce a group you're a part of, please stand to be recognized. In the area of academics, would members of the senior class that made the honor roll while at SHS please stand? Students in the honor roll, please stand in the last 4 years. If you made the honor roll, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Students completing 1 or more AP classes while in high school, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Students receiving an honors diploma this afternoon, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Members of National Honor Society, Polaris Career Center's Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Rho Kappa, Art National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society, or German National Honor Society, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. DECA members qualifying for the state competition, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. DECA members qualifying for the national competition, please stand to be recognized. That's a school record this year. Members of our award-winning Motto UN team, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Polaris students qualifying for state or national competitions, please stand to be recognized. Individuals receiving academic scholarships locally or through your university, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. In the area of athletics, members of our regional qualifying boys and girls soccer teams, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Members of our state qualifying swimming and diving teams, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Our state qualifying wrestler, please stand to be recognized. Individuals receiving recognition of all conference, all district, all state, or all American honors, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Individuals receiving athletic scholarships to participate athletically at the collegiate level, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. In the area of the arts, members of our choral groups who performed in New York City, please stand to be recognized. Members of our choir, band, or orchestra which received a ranking of excellent or superior at a state competition, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Participants in the Strongsville Art Show, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Individuals earning scholarships in the area of the arts, either locally or through a university, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Other areas I want to recognize that don't really fall in this category of students: members of the Strongsville Youth Commission, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Members of Student Council, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Members of Key Club, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Members of a student group or members of the class who have individually provided philanthropic support in the community, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Students that have earned the distinction of Eagle Scout or Gold Award through the Boys and Girls Scouts, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Members of the senior class that participated in Senior Project, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Members of this year's graduating class that have enlisted or will be enlisting in the military, please stand and be recognized. Students, please remain standing. Remain standing, please, the military. Would members in the audience who are actively in the military or were in the military, please stand to be recognized with our students. We thank you for your service and your willingness to defend our freedoms. Students, thank you so much for being willing to sacrifice that for us as well. We appreciate it. Thank you. As you can see, the class of 16 have done amazing things while they've been at SHS. As a high school staff, we are proud of your accomplishments, and we look forward to following your future successes. My last piece of advice to you guys as a class is this: as you move on to the next chapter in your life, do not forget the lessons you have been taught by your parents, teachers, coaches, advisors, and other role models in your life. These lessons will serve you well and will allow you to build on the successes you've already had. Congratulations to the class of 2016. It has been an honor to be your principal. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Brian Tamino, the 12th grade principal.
I would like to welcome you, the proud parents, grandparents, and other family and friends, to the 118th graduation of Strongsville High School. For the class of 2016, it represents the culmination and celebration of the accomplishments they have achieved over the past 13 years. Class of 2016, I would personally like to extend to you my sincere congratulations and tell you it has been my honor to serve as your grade level principal for the past 2 years. At this time, I would like to introduce your Student Council President, Miss Rebecca Wells.
Good afternoon. I am so honored and blessed to be able to stand before all of you and talk about our class accomplishments. There are many moments that we as a class can reflect on and celebrate together. When asked to speak today, it seemed appropriate to relate my thoughts to a song, like I tend to do with everything in my life. The song that has been on replay in my head is "Don't Forget the Distance You Have Come." One of the lines says, "But keep your eyes upon the road, keep driving. It won't be long until you see a sign that says that you're arriving." These lyrics made me think of everything that we have been through together as a class. We have definitely had some bumps in the road and a tumultuous freshman year, but things began to even themselves out as we continued on our journey. We kept driving, for sure. I strongly believe that our class could have handled anything, because in my mind, we did. We conquered the low moments and celebrated the high points together. Let's take a second to focus on some of those high points, the signs that say that we're arriving. There are 480 of us graduating today in the class of 2016. Of that 480, there are 87 graduates with a 4.0 or higher GPA, 201 graduating with a 3.5 or better, 131 students active in the College Credit Plus, 151 seniors who took advanced placement exams, 19 athletes signed for various sports, 6 going into military service, and 84 Polaris graduates heading off to start their careers. Our class is going to be scattered between 53 colleges in 16 different states. To me, these statistics are signs that we are already arriving at the next chapter of our lives. The first line of the chorus says, "And when you reach that day, when you've conquered what's behind you, don't forget the fight it took to get you here." This brought back so many memories of things that we have all gone through, like our first relationships and our first heartaches, or the best friend you've never fought with, the person you never thought you'd be friends with, and the people who are there to wipe your tears, the people you've gone on random adventures with, and the memories that you've formed, losing someone important to you, and figuring out a way to be strong and move on without them, your true best friend called the internet, and the glorious smell of Decca cookies in the morning. My favorite line in the song says, "There will be days when the weight of the world will bind you, and you're wondering if the world really needs you. Keep on moving, keep on driving, because the sign up ahead will soon be behind you." We've all had those days when we feel like we've just wanted to give up, but there has always been someone pushing us to keep moving forward, like our parents, our teachers, our Strongsville High School staff, and for sure our friends. Without them, our accomplishments might not have been so remarkable. The chorus finishes with, "And when you reach the top of the mountain you've been climbing, don't forget the distance you have come." For some of us, graduation is the top of our mountain. Through our partnership with Polaris, some of us are ending our education here and entering straight into the workforce. Some of us are going on to college to open another door to our futures. But as we go our different ways and travel our different paths, don't forget the distance we have all come together. Congratulations, class of 2016.
At this time, I would invite Haley Brengartner to join me at the podium. Haley is this year's Phi Beta Kappa recipient. She has been nominated by our staff as being the student most worthy of recognition for outstanding scholarship, academic initiative, and total achievement. The Phi Beta Kappa recipient represents the collective judgment of the professional teaching staff as the most scholarly of the senior students. As part of this recognition, Haley has been asked to address the class of 2016.
Good afternoon, class of 2016, family and friends. As we grow older, this world that we thought that we once knew so well begins to change as it comes under a new light. 4 years ago, the word graduation seemed like a distant thought as we entered a new and foreign phase of life, kind of like the position we all stand today. Looking back on freshman year, life seemed much simpler because our awareness and our ability to connect with the world around us was at a much lesser degree than it is today. The words and feelings we defined with such surface values are now associated with deeper and profound meanings, and we are therefore able to become more in tune with this world that we call home. Today, problems seem grander, and tasks seem more difficult as our futures rapidly approach us. But unlike freshman year, we are able to successfully battle these complications due to the vast experiences and knowledge we have gained throughout high school. I was asked today to speak on the topic of academics, and while academics are the one thing that most of us can't wait to run away from this summer, I have come to realize that academics encompass something much greater than what we learn inside the classroom. And thank God for that, or this speech would have been terribly boring. Academic achievement comes not from being smart, but from learning smart. The ability to overcome obstacles, grow from failure, and develop a strong concept of self. All of these achievements come from learning how to learn, which I believe is the most valuable lesson that could have been bestowed upon us in high school. The great thing about being an individual is having the ability to experience personal hardships, successes, and everything in between from perspectives of no one but our own. From freshman to senior year, we have become more apt in determining where our strengths and weaknesses lie, where our hearts reside, which people allow us to become better versions of ourselves, and how we oversee a variety of situations. As 4 years quickly slip through our fingers, we have learned more about ourselves and our capabilities than we ever thought true. High school is not about remembering every fact or every equation that has been put in front of us. High school is about learning how to process information in a manner best suited to allow ourselves to expand our knowledge and come to with a better, stronger concept of self. Right now, on the breach of triumph, we have surmounted another hill, and we face even bigger mountains in the distance. At the top of this hill, called graduation, we will each experience a certain level of success. However, Bill Gates reminds us that success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking that they can't lose. Outside of these doors, we would be naive to believe that we won't fall, get beaten by others, or lose time and time again. But failure is just another lesson. It grants us the opportunity to grow more powerful and stand out amongst our peers. We are wrong in believing that successes symbolize entitlement. Success is a simple reminder that we have done right here in the present. From here on out, academics, or pursuing a grander overall knowledge, is based upon much more than a standard grading scale or what we are told we need to know in order to pass a class. The knowledge we wish to acquire will be a byproduct of the experiences we allow ourselves to have. Most of us, even if we are yet to determine the details, have imagined our picturesque future lives. It would be easy to expect everything that we've wanted out of life to one day fall into our hands. However, reality tells us that the divider between those who fulfill their lifelong dreams and those who don't is grit. Today, I encourage you to persevere through the next mountain that you encounter. I advise you to stand out amongst the rest in your curiosity to learn how to learn. Embrace academic challenges, both for the betterment of yourself and the world around you. Today, when you walk outside of these doors and feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, remember that feeling and strive to attain of the life the same. As a unit, we stand today, but as individuals, we exist tomorrow. As an individual, let the world immerse you with experiences that shape your being and define your character. Class of 2016, this is the beginning.
Being presented with gold tassels today are students who are our top scholars for the class of 2016. These students have earned the academic right to represent the top 5% of their graduating class. At this time, would the top 5% please come forward? Students, as I call your name, please come to center stage where our superintendent, Mr. Ryba, will present you with your honor cord. I would also ask that the parents and guardians stand when their child's name has been called. Olivia Abdallah, The Ohio State University. Andre Albertins, Case Western Reserve University. Todd Anderson, The Ohio State University. Gabrielle Buey, The Ohio State University. Laura Brink, The University of Akron. Jason Ding, Lee University. Carolus Eldeeb, The Ohio State University. Sarah Gasper, The Ohio State University. Caitlin Gleski, Cleveland State University. Megan Hayes, The Ohio State University. Rachel Cavazia, Miami University. Julia Claben, Purdue University. Jared Klipchek, The Ohio State University. Daniel Lemmer, The Ohio State University. Allison Lombardo, Ashland University. Katie Matusik, the University of Toledo. Abby Noser, the University of Missouri. Claire O'Brien, the University of Notre Dame. Alyssa Palco, The Ohio State University. Ayushi Patel, The Ohio State University. Ritika Patel, The Ohio State University. Nicholas Scoggins, The Ohio State University. Megan Sievers, Ohio Wesleyan University. Ariana Soika, John Carroll University. Congratulations, top 5%. Go ahead.
Once again, congratulations to our top 5%. That ramp is awfully loud. Mr. Ryba and members of the Strongsville City Schools Board of Education, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2016 for the conferment of diplomas. By the authority invested in my position by the state of Ohio and the Board of Education, I attest that those students seated before you have completed all graduation requirements and are ready to receive their Strongsville High School diplomas. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Superintendent Mr. Cameron Ryba for his graduation address.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Education and all of our administrators, teachers, and staff, it's my distinct honor to stand with you in celebration of the class of 2016. A few weeks ago, while watching a Cavs playoff game, one of the commentators quoted Theodore Roosevelt, stating, "Comparison is the thief of joy." For some reason, this quote stuck with me. The quote is so simple in its message, yet profound in its impact, and relevant to our ceremony this afternoon as you, our graduates, prepare for the next phase of your lives. Comparison is the thief of joy. I've never heard this quote before, but it made sense. All too often we get stuck in comparing ourselves to others, wishing, if only I were a little smarter, in better shape, were more successful, had more money. Placing value in these comparisons rather than being happy with who we are and what we can become. You know, I've participated in many commencement ceremonies, and most speeches always try to share some advice and some words of wisdom. And sadly for all of you, this one is no different. So here it is, my advice to you, the class of 2016. Instead of dwelling on what you may not have achieved yet, focus on what gifts you possess and the work you must put in to be the person you want to be and make the impact you want to make on the world. See, every success and successful individual is built on the ability to challenge the status quo, to not accept mediocrity, and do better than just good enough. There are too many students sitting here today with such gifts and talents to leave high school and simply be average. To get ahead and to fully enjoy the opportunities and possibilities that life has to offer, you have to dare to be extraordinary. You have to take calculated risks, and you have to be willing to go above and beyond what is asked or expected. Simon Bailey, a former Disney executive, shares the following sentiment. As I look around the world, there is a gravitational pull to be average, common, just plain regular. The reality is that anyone or anything that has made an impact or left an undeniable imprint refused to be ordinary. I challenge each of you, in your own unique way, to be the ones to make a positive impact on this world, to live to your potential. Utilize those unbelievable gifts, raw ability, and uncommon talents that you possess, and strive to become who you were meant to be. Find joy in who you are, and set a path to become the best version of yourself. As your superintendent, I may not know all of you personally, but I have seen and heard about your unbelievable gifts and talents. I know that we are in the midst of a group of young adults that can strive and achieve greatness. Remember that every day you wake up, you have choices to make. These choices have and will continue to lay the groundwork for who you are and who you will become. You have the ability to chart your own path and carve it out in your own unique direction. I challenge you to make choices that will lead you to a future that is filled with passion and excitement for all your future endeavors. One of my favorite quotes states, "Excellence can be attained if you care more than others think is wise, risk more than others think is safe, dream more than others think is practical, and expect more than others think is possible." Live life not to be just one of the crowd. Live life to stand out, to make a difference, just like you have at Strongsville High School. Graduates, I wish you nothing but the very best. Congratulations to you, the class of 2016. As always, please keep your alma mater in your heart as you go forward, and thank you for being a shining example of Strongsville pride. And at this time, it is my privilege to introduce Strongsville Board of Education Vice President, Mr. Richard Micco.
Welcome. Today is a day for a celebration, celebrating and taking joy in your accomplishments. Today is a day for gratitude, thanking you for being as good as you are. Today is a day for reflection, remembering the last 18 years of your life and looking forward to what comes next. I am so excited to be standing here and addressing you at your high school graduation. You may wonder, why am I speaking, since traditionally the president of the school board addresses the graduating class? The answer is simple. I asked. And Carl said yes. So I'm thankful to Carl for letting me give this speech to my son Eric and his classmates in the graduating class of 2016. There's a good lesson in there. Sometimes you just have to ask. When I spoke with Mr. Smithberger about giving this speech, he was very kind and went over the particulars. When I asked if he had any advice, he told me to keep it short, because no one really listens to what you have to say, and they just want your diplomas. And that is when I realized this speech is like every other day of my life with my children. They all politely nod their heads, but I'm pretty sure none of them are listening. Maybe Carl can give the speech after all. No? Okay, then that means I represent the one last thing that stands in your way from graduating. So disregarding Mr. Smithberger's advice, how long can I make this speech last? How much time can I really take? I will share with you 3 messages. The first one is on time. It is natural to think about the passage of time at moments like today. From your perspective, it took forever to get here, and you're chomping at the bit to get to the next stop. From our perspective, the parents and teachers and other adults in your life, it seems like it went too fast and it needs to slow down. The days may drag, but the years fly. How did 18 years just fly by? Regardless of our perspectives, my advice to you is don't waste your time or anyone else's time. Money, stuff, and things, if I don't have enough of them, I can make more. Time is so valuable precisely because we can't make any more of it. Use your time wisely. Use your time with purpose. I wax about this often. The challenges that you will face are different than when we were your age. It seems to me that there are many more idle distractions that can occupy and consume your lives and prevent you from achieving a full and satisfying life. Choose to invest your time in meaningful ways, whether it's your studies, your career, friendships and families, civic or charitable organizations. You have all been blessed with remarkable talent and skills, but your talents, when used indiscriminately, are worse off than if you did nothing. Take moments to reflect and ask yourself if what you are spending your time on is worthwhile. And if it's not, stop and start doing something that is. The second message I want to share with you starts with a story. I think about this story often. I was about 9 years old and my younger brother was 8. My father took us along with him to go shopping at Uncle Bill's. Uncle Bill's department store was the target of the 1970s. While we were walking to the store entrance, we were stopped by a man who was peddling something. He gave my father a card. On one side was the alphabet in American Sign Language. On the other side was a message stating the man was deaf and was selling these cards for donations. I remember seeing the card and it was excited. Hey, my dad is deaf too. What's the chance of that coincidence? I then looked at my father and saw his reaction. I saw frustration and sadness in him. There was so much incompatibility in that moment. On the one hand, there was my father, a family man who wanted me to learn his values. Work hard, take care of your family, be loyal to your friends, visit Oma's grave every other week and make sure the grass is trimmed. Earn your keep. Oh, and he just happened to be deaf. On the other hand, there was a deaf man who peddles sign language cars in parking lots for money. Both men bore the label of death. How could they be so different? Why was I so blessed? I learned a lot in that moment, and it still grips me today. The message I want to share with you is about how these perceptions can define you. We spend a lot of time putting labels on each other. You can choose your own: jock, nerd, band kid, popular, people who think they're popular. In the simplest terms, in the most convenient definitions, but what we found out is that each of us is a brain and an athlete and a basket case, a princess and a criminal. Sorry, I was having a Breakfast Club flashback. Do not allow what you are to define who you are. Define who you are by what you do. What you do matters. Choose to do good things. Regularly ask yourself if what you are doing is worthwhile. And if it's not, stop and start doing something that is. The last message I want to share with you is about pride. When we recognize you at board meetings, the protocol is for you to walk by each board member and shake their hand and let us congratulate you. My habit is to tell you, I am proud of you, or we are proud of you. I do that for a number of simple reasons. First of all, it's true. We were blessed to have you in our schools doing the right things, the good things, the wonderful things for the last 13 years. I think of the future Mustangs who watch what you are doing, and because of your example, will set their mind doing remarkable things. And that makes me deeply and profoundly happy. When I learn about the great things you are going to be doing after graduation, it reminds me that the future will be just fine in Strongsville. And because of that, I am proud of you. It is important for me, for you to know that we are proud of you. Graduation is my favorite activity as a board member because I get to tell each and every one of you that we are proud of you. It is a privilege, and I don't get tired of it. Make sure that whatever you do in your life, that you can be proud of it so that we can be proud of you. And if you're not doing something to be proud of, stop and start doing something that is. Thank you.
Mr. Ryba and Mr. Miko, thank you for your addresses. I know the class appreciates it as well. Audience, the graduates request that you refrain from applause or comments until each individual has received his or her diploma. On behalf of the graduates, thank you in advance for honoring their request. At this time, I would like to call upon Mr. Sean Collins, Mrs. Tracy Davidson, Mrs. Tara Brusky, Superintendent Mr. Cameron Ryba, and members of the Board of Education to assist in the distribution of diplomas.
Andre Peters Albertins.
Megan Elise Sievers.
Todd Jeffrey Anderson.
Peter Hani Abdamalik.
Gabrielle Renee Buey.
Salim Hussam Abdel Kader.
Laura Irene Brink.
Abraham Narciso Lugo Abalana.
Jason Ding.
Amid Hazim Abuzaraya.
Kirilis Gergis Eldib.
Muhammad Hazim Abuzaraya.
Sarah Elizabeth Gasper.
Ansar M. Ali.
Caitlin Elizabeth Gleski.
Catherine Grace Alley.
Megan Rose Hayes.
Mohammed Aid Amubayed.
Rachel Joy Kevzia.
Chase Joseph Amato.
Julia Marie Claben.
Claire Elizabeth O'Brien.
Jared Stephen Klipchak.
Alyssa Ann Palco.
Daniel Jason Lemmer.
Ayushi Ritesh Patel.
Allison Marie Lombardo.
Ritika Suresh Patel.
Catherine Grace Matusik.
Nicholas Manuel Scoggins.
Jarrett Hayes Andrews.
Ariana Olivia Soika.
Benjamin Philip Andreski.
Abigail Grace Noser.
Vivek M. Amin.
Rebecca Diane Wells.
Aaron Matthew Archer.
Haley Abigail Brengardner.
Madison Jean Ardo.
Olivia Gassan Abdallah.
Madison Teresa Arnholt.
Myrna K. Susu.
Donald Joseph Arslanian.
Amina Shalem Benson.
Andrew David Arthur.
Andrew Richard Bidwell.
Brianna Mackenzie Ashworth.
Emily Marie Black.
Sean Patrick Askey.
Emily Elizabeth Blushko.
Lena Z. Assad.
Lindsay Marie Bloomquist.
Ashley Donna Axford.
Ireland Jane Blumel.
Kevin Aziz Ayad.
Gavin Andrew Bly.
Sarah Elizabeth Balzer.
Alexa Rose Bagardi.
Ian Richard Barr.
Ryan Andrew Bourne.
Alexander Michael Barkov.
Michael Conrad Borowski.
Nicholas James Bartul.
Anya Basilchik.
Nicholas Robert Bauman.
Ramel Fadi Buksam.
Caitlin Elizabeth Baxter.
Derica Marie Boxey.
Justin Bella.
Julia Boychuk.
Matthew Ryan Bella.
Mahima Y. Brombutt.
Nicole Elizabeth Bremer.
Kara Ann Brannigan.
Alec David Brenza.
Savannah Michelle Cipriani.
Justin Brito.
Brandon David Clark.
Nicole Ann Burkhart.
Molly Marie Cohen.
Zachary Brian Calabrese.
Sudarshini Ganesh Kombatore.
Cole Nicholas Kalari.
Alyssa Renee Cole.
Jonathan Allen Campo.
Joshua Colby Collins.
Robert Mitchell Cangelosi.
Justin Alexander Collins.
Philip Anthony Capelli.
Thomas Xavier Koski.
Tudor Caprita.
Ryan Michael Curry.
Christina Chaishevska.
Jada Amoni Simone Courtney.
Jasmine Dion Sicatasto.
Natasha Christine Cowley.
Marissa Suzanne D'Amico.
Marissa Lee Craddock.
Donovan Michael D'Alessandro.
Eric Scott Craig.
Sofia de Almeida Garguin.
Erin Marie Cross.
Colin Mitchell Dwyer.
Shannon Julia Sire.
Kayla Marie Dickens.
Heather Danielle Cubrillo.
Andrew Dillon.
McKenna Rose Cuevas.
Justin Philip DeMassa.
Michael Paul Zernek.
Andrew Deneau.
May Fahim Idir.
Sydney Lorraine DeSalvo.
Alexandra Ann Ernfeld.
Casey Lynn Dobeck.
Mustafa Murad Elmadi.
Killian Elise Donahue.
Gary Lynn Eplin.
Thomas Richard Donahue.
Nicolette Yasmin Estefan.
Christian Hunter Downing.
Connor Alexander Evans.
Jeremy James Drasdick.
Madeline Rose Evans.
Colin Kevin Driscoll.
Jared Anthony Avola.
Kelsey Danielle Duncan.
Nathan Mark Izinski.
Alexandra Lauren Dye.
Julia Nicole Fabrizi.
Jacob Michael Foley.
Cassidy Rose Faircloth.
Thomas Logan Foster.
Abigail Joanne Fetzer.
Chase Edward Franklin.
Catherine Lee Fleischer.
Nicholas Patrick Freitas.
Nicholas Dylan Flores.
Lauren Elizabeth Friedman.
Gurjeevan Singh Gill.
Joseph Michael Gabella.
Cassidy Michelle Gillette.
Anushka Abe Gaikwad.
Antonio Gail Genesi.
Vincent Anthony Galassi.
Delphina Amelia Glover.
Vincenzo James Galassi.
Kayla Shibri Goodluck.
Chantel Therese Ganter.
Lila Mackenzie Graham.
Tara Aileen Garcia.
Riley Marie Grayless.
Emily Therese Garzinski.
Cole Allen Green.
Alexandra K. Gasper.
Emily Elizabeth Griffith.
Michael Joseph Gazo.
Cheyenne Nicole Gonzalez.
Alyssa Christine Genko.
Taylor Ellen Hayes.
Anna Marie Giorgio.
Scott Nicholas Hackman.
Dhruv Daval Gia.
Megan Rose Hafner.
Ashlyn Suzanne Gilbert.
Brianna Marie Hagan.
Halima Raid Hamden.
Brandon David Hageman.
Zachary Taylor Hammett.
Rachel Madison Hahn.
McKenna Alexandra Haney.
Ashley Miriam Hyduk.
Allison Lindsay Hedinger.
Taylor Rochelle Host.
Jared Edward Hedgie.
Olivia Louise Hovan.
Haley Elizabeth Heinbaugh.
Andrea Ryan House.
Ian Patrick Hennessy.
Tyrell William Hubbard.
Paul Hernandez.
Jeremy James Hudak.
Todd Joseph Heppelstone.
Rachel Lynn Humphrey.
Nicole Ann Heiniger.
Rakaya Idis.
Natalie Diane Hosevar.
Aaron Joseph Isernia.
Joshua James Hodges.
Brendan Joseph Jakes.
Timothy Joseph Hoffman.
Benjamin Addison Jakubowski.
Allison Marie Holka.
Hunter Bartley James.
Caleb Allen Homan.
Tyler David Jameson.
Jonathan Terry Hopkins.
Nadia Malou Tebow Jensen.
Jordan Alexis Kane.
Kayla Marie Johnson.
Edward Joseph Kaminsky.
Alexis Abigail Jones.
Mary Beth Lynn Kapler.
Morgan Rayalton Jones.
James Eustace Caranu.
Zachary Andrew Kahn.
Caitlin Paige Kassler.
Nicholas Raymond Klein.
Lauren Elizabeth Kava.
Kelly Ann Klimaszewski.
Hannah Noel Keller.
Gabriella Janine Knaus.
Bryn Elise Kendro.
Nicholas Stephen Kanopka.
Michelle Joy Kennett.
Jenna Carol Kapansky.
Matthew Brandon Kennel.
Paige Elizabeth Kapansky.
Grant Michael Kensinger.
Olivia Irene Cutlers.
David Maranovich Kolyavka.
Sarah Jade Kovach.
Jasmine Kaur Kuban.
Brittany Malin Kramer.
James Robert Kiefer.
Emily Jane Kramer.
Diamond Lachey King.
Corey James Kravanik.
Brandon Michael Kingston.
Cassidy Diane Krisman.
Eric Joseph Klein.
Michaela Judith Krisman.
Christopher James Kulan.
Jacob Alec Krosky.
Jessica Suzanne Katrubes.
Michael Dale Krupa.
Kendall Ree Kuzmanovich.
Kelly Ann Krzyzanowski.
Caitlin Ann Lamb.
Melissa Ann Kubalins.
Noah Christopher Lane.
Maura Ann Lynch.
Tyler Joseph LaQuatra.
Jonathan William McCurdy.
Matthew Aaron Larson.
Grace Delaney Makovac.
Reagan Lynn Laurel.
Bridget Christensen Mahoney.
John Patrick Leahy.
Ali Nasri Mansour.
Andrew Michael Leesburg.
Ashley Lauren Martin.
Sayer Thomas Leisinger.
Catherine Ellen Martin.
Andrea Leibel.
Jessica Gabrielle Martin.
Hannah Therese Liska.
Brianna Nicole Martineau.
Mark Robert Loy.
Abigail Elizabeth Massa.
Sarah Jane Ludwig.
Alexandra Maria Mathilis.
Erin Marie Lunt.
Sarah Elizabeth Matula.
Catherine Grace Lusky.
Nathaniel Franklin Mattis.
Sammy George Mehmed.
Tyrell Marquise McElroy.
Stephen Allen Myring.
Alec Quinn McGrath.
Paul Joseph Merrimie.
Megan Eileen McManaman.
Danielle Nicole Mazzaros.
Casey Marie McManus.
Alicia Catherine Metzger.
Taylor Ann McRoberts.
Maxwell Cleveland Meyerson.
Bridget Kathleen Murphy.
Miranda Garcia Mashaud.
Caitlin Marie Moody.
Eric Otto Micko.
Taylor Margaret Moody.
Kevin Douglas Miller.
Morgan Taylor Myers.
Taylor Christine Miller.
Nicholas Robert Nagley.
Braxton Charles Moore.
Rana Maria Najim.
Bishoy Mamdu Morkos.
James Arthur Napoli.
Allison Christine Moss.
Robbie Nasser.
Christopher Carl Mueller.
Sydney Morgan Naughton.
Jared Nicholas Mullen.
Katie Lynn Newmeyer.
Connor Clark Mundy.
Mohammed Maher Nofal.
Mitchell Walter Muniak.
Abigail Francis Novak.
Timothy Yunsuk O.
Brianna Kelly O'Boyle.
Alan Weijian Ong.
Stephanie Patricia Obenauer.
Bailey Luisa Ortiz.
Paige Marie Oblak.
Samantha Caroline Pagel.
Heather M. Odetella.
Sky Lee Palladina.
Raymond Thomas Porter IV.
Eugene Philip Palladino.
Karen Sue Potter.
Forum Tushar Parmar.
Josie Elizabeth Powers.
J. Pankajabai Patel.
Emily Ruth Pryor.
Jeet Pankajabai Patel.
Michaela Elizabeth Pugh.
Mira M. Patel.
Reagan James Puzzatello.
Devin Dennis Patton.
Rico Santino Quinones.
Natalie Jane Pennell.
Matthew Stephen Rejecki.
James Stephen Pisarchik.
Ariel Christina Ramalia.
Natalie N. Fawn.
Kaylee Ann Ramalia.
Anthony Jonathan Pashano.
Nicolo Joseph Ramicone.
Anna Jeanette Piper.
Mackenzie Patricia Ramser.
Ryan Matthew Port.
Amanda Amani Rashid.
Mason Bradley Reynolds.
Thomas Charles Raymond.
Jeremy Joseph Rezebek.
Vaughn Stephen Raymond.
Ryan Mark Robertson.
Ryan Payne Rodella.
Mackenzie Renee Robelata.
Michael Colin Reed.
Drew Jonathan Sado.
Jonathan Charles Resnick. Jonathan James Schroeder.
Rachel Julia Reimer.
Meredith Nicole Sugar.
Sabina Segal.
Jared Joseph Schulte.
Fatima Sajad.
Brittany Elisa Schwass.
Sydney Anne-Marie Sully.
Merle Schwengels.
Vincenzo Antonio Salvo.
Nicholas Andrew Sarenko.
Jenna Marie Samuelich.
Ariana Elizabeth Simone.
Elizabeth Joe Samuels.
Brianne Nicole Shuba.
Kayla Marie Sapera.
Caitlin Elizabeth Sidlowski.
Kaylin Rose Sapienza.
Brendan Patrick Simmerly.
Gabrielle Lynn Schnatterbeck.
Erin Nicole Sims.
Lindsay Alana Schneider.
Simranpreet Singh.
Rachel Ann Schneider.
Sukhwinderjeet Singh.
Austin Bailey William Smith.
Nicole Ashley Slappick.
Bradley Thomas Smith.
Hallie Alexis Slaughter.
Elizabeth Jane Smith.
Jimmy Jared Stewart.
Joshua Miguel Fletcher Smith.
Jennifer Michelle Stein.
Zachary James Smutek.
Taylor Marie Strominger.
Justin Robert Snavely.
Roderick Caldwell Sullivan.
Noah Lawrence Summers.
Alexis Ann Sveda.
Delina Ely Songer.
Mahira Saeed.
Devin Lee Songer.
Kyle Christopher Sink.
Yanni Sue.
Dana Elizabeth Sealy.
Thaddeus E. Stanford.
Sophia Said Taye.
Ryan Patrick Stanton.
Yasin Imjad Taye.
Kyra Alexis Sterick.
Aubrey Elizabeth Taylor.
Philip Stepanov.
Samantha Lynn Taylor.
Nikki Marie Steffen.
Taylor Ann Thal.
Amber Ray Stevens.
Julia Elizabeth Thomas.
Tyler Austin Teetsy.
Alexander Michael Thompson.
Arnell Mushia Toffee.
Kennedy Ann Tibbetts.
Jacob Matthew Tomko.
Marissa Rose Viscomi.
Justin Otto Tracy.
Olivia Marie Vitanza.
Caroline Michelle Trudler.
Jared Nathan Volan.
Justin Alexander Tullock.
Natalie Elena Zielinski.
Catherine Mary Turk.
Kaylee Rebecca Wack.
Patrick Vince Underwood.
Brett Martin Wade.
Nicholas Charles Urbanik.
Amy Grace Wagner.
Nicholas Michael Vaccarello.
Elizabeth Rose Wagner.
Jeffrey Michael Vancuccia.
Christina Aaron Wade.
Jarrett Michael Vanderwist.
Michael Alipio Leak Waldron.
Nicholas Norman Vanderwist.
Colin Kevin Walsh.
Gabriella Carissa Vapanik.
Logan Thomas Ward.
Nicholas Mark Vasilio.
Eric Michael Warman.
Dominic Joseph Velianiscus.
Jennifer Elizabeth Wayne.
Christopher Daniel Vento.
Lauren Marie Weddle.
Mohammed Hassan Suleiman.
Matthew Andrew Wenninger.
Adam Patrick Winrod.
Ashley Marie Trojan.
Catherine Elizabeth Wolford.
Zachary Khalil Farron.
Allison Marie Wollaber.
Laura Yamrick.
Ruby Schwinn. Diana Yankivska. Jordan Michael Yates. Jacob Michael Yesbach. Travis Wyatt Young. Alexander Michael Zacharias. Ryan John Zanizer. Kayla Ann Zevchek. Ashley Zindya Zhang. Joshua N. Zhao. Jonathan Joseph Zakaib.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce your senior class president, Miss Olivia Abdallah.
Fellow graduates, looking back on our past 4 years, we've almost all had the experience of walking through the upper lot on a rainy day and finding a puddle directly in our path. We've groaned and complained and tried to jump over it or tiptoe through it, 99% of the time walking into class with wet and squeaky feet. When we were kids, jumping into puddles used to be such a moment of excitement. We got to get messy and splash around, being proud when we walked inside completely soaked. For some reason, though, nowadays a lot of us can no longer look at that puddle as a chance to have some fun. Now, I want us to think about puddles in a more figurative sense. When we came into the high school, we all had a puddle in front of us. We didn't know how deep it was or if the waters were muddy. We only know that we had to go through that puddle. Some of us jumped in readily while others were more hesitant. Regardless of how we made it through, we didn't have an alternative to get us away from these past 4 years of high school, but we did control how we approached it, and all of us have made it through. We started out as timid freshmen, nervously going through our first schedule, rushing through the halls for a scavenger hunt, trying to figure out just where the mezzanine was, and getting exponentially excited when we finally got the chance to sit down and watch a magic act in a crowded auditorium. Since then, we've been through countless football game themes, 4 homecomings, never-ending physics projects, and even an 8-week in-school vacation. We have come out on the other side, all with good memories and valuable knowledge, each of us with the potential to change the world. It is now our turn to make a mark on the world with the potential that we have built up over the past 18 years. There are a few other times in our lives where we'll have so much opportunity in front of us. We get to find out what we're passionate about and what we want to do most throughout this first stage of our adult lives. Now is the time to explore these passions and be adventurous, and with this, forge a path for the future. The world is in our hands. It can seem scary, but it is not something that we should shy away from. We need to take this moment and live it to the absolute fullest, and never take a day for granted. When we walk outside of these doors, each and every one of us will have a puddle in front of us, whether that be a job or college or whatever the future holds. All of these windows of opportunity are finally here, and instead of seeing these experiences as a chore or a hurdle, I encourage you to look at it with a different mindset. Do we let the unknown of the future scare us and make us reluctant to go, or do we let it excite and inspire us? In the midst of overwhelming options of what we can do with our future, I want you to remind yourself of the bigger picture and have fun with every waking moment. Use the potential that these past 4 years of high school have given us. Look at the puddle that's just ahead and jump in. Thank you. Oh, I need my phone. I'd like to continue the tradition of a senior selfie from on stage, so if everybody could participate, that'd be awesome. All right. Should I get everyone in here? 1, 2. Up. Should I get this side? All right, thank you. Back down. I would like to invite the class officers to the stage for the turning of the tassel and recessional. Please join me in the moment that we have all been waiting for, the turning of the tassels. Let this symbolize the beginning of the rest of our lives. Would the class of 2016 please stand? And now, please move the tassel from the right side over to the left. Congratulations, class of 2016. We made it.